PPP members expose the bishop must listen.
Whatever we do now, we got to do for get satisfaction and quench to we feelings. It ain't be easy in the years gone by when we said we was a PPP and put on the PPP jersey. It was never easy. But you know why? No, we never complain. We never complain. But I got some stories from way back that I want to talk. And I'm going to call name. You know, we got to come out now from we cloven hoof and put ourselves out there. Because we been too long silent and in the corners and in the dark. And we wasn't saying anything. Because it been done upon us that we supposed to respect we elders and work seriously to build the momentum so we could be in government all the time. Under umbrella that everybody should be satisfied. But what we speak inside is now we being put outside. This last election and prior to the election, we would have seen that the party would have inculcated through the civic component a lot of people, especially crossovers, and they've been treated with a lot of dignity, help, and their concerns and their problems and issues were solved and was met. But we the comrades over the years would have sit down, got issues, got problems, and that waiting for it to be attended to and solved and never ever was given any attention. So with this put out, and this gonna be a daily trend because we gonna start from the bottom, and as years go by from the different elections that we would have worked and the different participants, we gonna post the old images and videos and these things to give us startling reminders to the people who pretending to be deaf and unconcerned about comrades' issues and problems that they put toll upon us through the PPP's organization. And many of us never sign up to be called a problem and to be pushed aside and they do. We sign up to give help, to support, but not in the return to be kicked and pushed to the curb. You hear? When you think that things have refranchised and been working in your area. I would have been one of the advocates for years against Edgil and asking persons in statements and voice notes and putouts that Edgil was a doom for Region 10 and he should be removed. And people who had the eyes and the hopes up high, believing that Edgil would have made an impression this time, Mr. If he didn't do it before, he can't do it now. And the local government election that passed, that would have seen a spike for the PPP, was not because of Edgil and the DDOs. It was because of the prudent leadership of the president and the vice president and the issues of some people was that was met after the previous administration, APNU, a partnership for national unity and other things, would have erred tremendously and fall back upon their manifesto put out. It would have showed the nation that in 2020 we needed a change. And it was established within the 3 years when the no confident motion would have been injected into them. And all the cracks started to show in the beams of the APNU and the partnership. And so it was evident that they couldn't win the election because this election showed you that the Guyanese black people would have become fed up and tired of the PNC and the APNU rhetorics and the so-called haters of leaders that they got. So what happened in the 5 years, 2015, 2011, and 2015, prior to 2020? What happened with the PPP? The PPP pulled back for 6 months and a transformation was ejected. And they come with a new strategy and they put it out there. But who they bring the strategy from, it didn't bring it to the people who was shouting David Granger and Granger in the street. They bring it to the party comrades who made submission and who was there in turmoil to journey like jackasses around the town, selling the information. And the treatment doesn't nice. But we never complain. We join hands and talk and cry together and then get up and go because the next day is another day in the system. And we telling ourselves that with the party and government, we were able to see a better days and better life. But now who we get? Look around. We got to complain. We cries, all we issues, all the confusion and the bad treatment and the kick to the carbs. We still held on to ensure that the party remains in government. We never asked for money. We never know that the party could have employed people for work for the party for 150,000 a month. When we did work like a jackass and nobody didn't even offer we in some cases a bottle of water. We go in we own pocket. But when payment can pass, we've been totally left out, put out, kicked out. Because for some reason, this Bishop One Edghill is a reject from the other regions and districts. And he could only find solace and common ground in Linden. I tell all you long that Edghill is a backward Johnny. And he never meant well for us. And after we started to complain, he should have been removed from here. Because the party got people who understand human behavior and black people don't hide. So I had to put it out there. That if the party at all don't want none of we, call we in and tell we that you got a reparations for we and you want the old comrades disappear. People bright. People ain't stupid. When Papa party card go down for renew, it don't come back. People take it and throw it away. You hear all sorts of wild excuse. Yeah. And lie compound lie. So what we got now? We got comrades. We got years, over 25 years of service to the party, coming all the way from PYU. Absolutely have nothing. And the comrades who working seriously, they can't get, you give out 700, 800, a million contracts. And you party members and comrades is a handful. And you could not have ensured that every comrade who is able and capable get a contract for themselves so we could take care of we business and our amenities. But instead of that, what was given and what people got the documents and go for it, people who was, the comrades who was taken away. They take away we were given to the comrades. And people are tight-lipped because it was a lie from the pit of hell. And who's propagating it? A bishop, a man from the clergy, a man who know full well. You know when the call Iscariot the Judas? When he dead and gone, he know he's Judas. He know he is Iscariot. What tried to pull the money to Pilate to let him know that Caiaphas The church priest and bishop was the culprit who kept the 30 piece of strange silver from the people, the strange people who visit the town. He lack off the money. And Iscariot has known. And the day when the plan for Bel Jesus, Iscariot decided to say, listen, this bishop is a terrible man. And I can tell it to the house. Nobody know what was the fight about. But Pilate was deceived by Caiaphas the priest about the silvers, coins, the strange silver coins. And then you know what Caiaphas do? He lie upon Iscariot and call the Judas. Y'all gonna read out your Bible. Read and understand. Read and learn. Read and know for yourself. Don't wait for these dangerous people with a tongue like fangs, poisonous mouth. These fucking pit vipers come out preaching and telling you nonsense. These people is part of what the world is today, and wherever we can get and what we can create and what can be given to us and where we've been robbed of is our own. Caiaphas says that we got a wrong way, who is throwing out venomous traits within the clergy and the society that combine and capture us and got us living, enslaved the mind, and now we're suffering from generation to generation coverage. We cannot come out from the dark hole that we have found ourselves in. So what we seeing today? Linden, what been populated mostly by the black people, is the most suffering place, no matter what's been given or sharing and this and that. People can't gain wealth in this region because this region people find themselves in a black hole. And these pastors of dooms has formed a shadow over the people every Sunday to enrich themselves and keep us poor. I watching a family that's pass every Sunday. The little girl is on so hot it burnish her foot. The shoes is a paint on leather. And I know the father forget for walk with he what a gun for school the front. And they're running through the hot sun is church they're going to. By now the church is able to get buses to pick up the people, the members that form fellowship with them. So they don't have to be running through the hot sun and the pouring rain to get to church. Church supposed to be a celebrity. If the pastors are flying airplane and helicopter, why not buy a bus for the members? Come on. Come on, comrades. Come on. So we have a cluster leader for life, a bloodsucker. Yeah. Now we live upon these women who are always left by the way. Most of them got a husband, and when Edgel start talking to them and the husband broke up and they living at the annex. Why? People walking around and talking ugly things, but a bishop who called himself a Christian and a PPP at that. He's not a PPP. He's a civic man, as a German Masilic. And I know that the comrade leaders and the PPP activists, them want to get rid of this germ. He become a pandemic and an epidemic. And the writing was on the wall. You can't win with Edgel. Nothing. because he's devious. Which kind of man could have a bishop title and running behind every little girl he see? No ideas. People got to get away from him. Where is he passing around? Where is he sharing? These people is ugly people. And the taunting amongst the scrapeheads and the other people elite and the wind entities is that Egil is the venomous serpent that's swirling around Linden, and he only hunts the young girls. He's a dirty crow. And the comrades were big like me got to endure them kind of titles that has been given to him. The bishop from hell. We walking behind a man like that. I couldn't do it this time. I had to relax. I couldn't make it. The mere talking and the towel. We talk till we weary. It makes sense. God, the leader come and say, he want to hear nothing. I know he want to hear nothing because what he perceive in mind. And Egil come down with his snake mouth in the dirty tongue, and he whisper in ears, and he put you up high on a pinnacle. Now we fly out and gone in blame game, and the name left on the PPP and Jack Dio. That's why it is hearing in the street on a daily basis. It's a recitation, it's a poem, it's a rendition, it's a song. And we as the people has endured that. I got talk me mind. So the end result here is that you don't want we as the comrades no more for the party. We gonna ask for reparation. That's the only fitting thing. We was have served under constraints like slaves. You gotta give me reparation. Some we suffer grievously. Let me tell you a whole story. I remember the pickup go one. Klosky. The other one we used to drive the Datsun. What was his name? At the constab. Yeah. And you had people like Aku and the PNC bullwhips. Yeah. A lot of them who jump in the PPP now was people who beat people, who tear off people's clothes, who strip people in the street. Yeah. Who dish we to the max. You can't put on a PPP jersey. Legs like peas. And you got for people to see who coming with gasoline and match a people at your house. To light your poor little place of fire. If you got a job, you lost it. If you used to go there for get a meal, you can't go there no more. And when you go to the shop, if things $10, it turn 20. You can't buy. Then why you buy nothing? You raise the price or you pay the price because you're dead. I remember I go to Georgetown and not a bus wouldn't bring me to Linden because I was a PPP. Not a bus. I thought a car, a taxi from town for come home. You can't tell me about sufferation. And we didn't have to complain. I think the party is bright enough to show for know that the black people would jump behind the PPP. 20 and 25 years back would have suffer merciless. I remember the Kia go one and tie you up like a dog. I left in a house for 3 days. The light on him, and we go find you in chains. You gonna want to tell me the techie again and the carry down at Bucktown and strippy and beat him merciless and ducky. You can't tell me that people in suffer and Egil come here and ensure that Gita go down He could have give the Gita the money she did done the road. Gita needed it. He knows she had troubles. And so today I feel she could have been alive. But Edgel ensure that she don't get the money. And she go down. Gita used to run behind Edgel. Since Edgel said this, Gita is there, that Gita is there. Gita want to fight you for take over everything. Gita think that she could have done the wall. She could have do everything. And when I heard the market people talking it till this day, when Gita meet she plight and needed money, she depend on the road. She beg, she call from she bed, she die in bed and beg. And it went on deaf ear. You want to tell me the cluster leader is a bishop? Which God you serving? God, I know. Tonight I talking, but the bitch gonna eat the bread the devil needs. You can't see God's face. And if he got a place for you, I would like to see it. Y'all is ugly people that walk in this earth. And nobody can tell me that this God while we serving is an unfair being. No way! And I don't care what people in this chat room say. A wrong and a disrespect was done to us as comrades there, and it need to address. We gonna go all out. We gonna go down in the bottomless pit with y'all. It got to address. This man wicked to the core. And if you hear the other people talk, we gonna go and dig them out from all them nick and cranny. Those who turn up and spit in the BT and Scott, them dirty fucking story that coming out now. We gonna bring them people at the talk. Cause people got to talk. And Sancha living at the annex. Why is she living there? Because the man that she live with her husband not to get rid of she. She's become cancerous and fetching wrong Edgel venom. Now she turn it on the comrades. What give she the audacity for come and take up position in PPP office and calling in the public